The hamstrings are located along the posterior thigh between the vastus lateralis and the adductor magnus. As a group, the hamstrings and their tendons are easily palpable. Biceps femoris is the lateral hamstring. It has two heads, a superficial long head and a deeper, indiscernible short head. The medial hamstrings include the two semi-muscles, the semitendinosus, which lies superficial to the wider and deeper semimembranosus. So the hamstrings. They get their name from 18th century butchers who used to hang hog carcasses in their window from the hamstring tendons. Doesn't really have a lot to do with what we're talking about here, but it's still kind of interesting. So let's palpate the hamstrings. My partner's prone on the table, and I'm going to begin by asking my partner to just bring his foot toward his hip, so he's flexing the knee. Go ahead and give me a little resistance there. There you go. And there we can see a great example of the hamstrings. We've got the semitendinosus belly here, the semimembranosus deep to it, and here's that biceps femoris laterally, and there's that tendon coming around to the head of the fibula. Great, and relax. So let's take a moment to notice that the hamstrings really only fill up that central portion of the posterior thigh, unlike the quadriceps. It's really quite a small region right here. And if I ask my partner to go ahead and contract again a little more, there we have a visible line that separates the biceps femoris from the vastus lateralis. And there we have the line between the semi-hamstrings and the adductors over here. Good. So let's isolate the one bony landmark at the base of the pelvis where all the hamstrings attach. Here, just past the gluteal fold, is the ischial tuberosity right there. And if you've ever sat through a long concert on a hard chair, you know where your ischial tuberosity is. And that's the attachment for the hamstrings. So I'm going to ask my partner to just raise his foot up a little. And wow, right there I feel the broad, strong tendon of all the hamstrings. Good, and relax. And from there, I can work my fingers down and feel here on the lateral side the biceps femoris belly. There as it becomes tendinous here on the lateral side of the knee. And then I can go back to the ischial tuberosity and follow the pathway of the semitendinosus and membranosus. Tendinosus sits on top, and there all the way down to the medial side of the knee. Go ahead and just hold your foot up right there. There we go. There's that semitendinosus tendon. And then deep to it inside a little bit is the semimembranosus. And then there was that biceps femoris tendon here. So finally, we can shorten the hamstrings by flexing the knee and even extending the hip a little bit. And we can lengthen the hamstrings by extending the knee. And if my partner were supine, I could even flex the hip.